Right, welcome back. Gonna go over what I went through on the charts last week, what I'm about to do this week, and gonna go over some trades that hypothetically I would have taken. I wasn't trading live or nothing, it was all paper. Disclaimer right there. Um, Also gonna run through what I plan to do once I finally get acclimated and hop on the prop firms. So yeah, um, we'll go through this trade. I traded with a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, but this one was a 1 to 1. I'll get into why exactly now, actually. So GBP NZD, 3rd of August, which we are here. So yeah, if you go into the daily, you can see, as you can see, we're in an uptrend, going up. So if you bounce off a daily, look for a 4 hour fair value gap, which found right there, right there. And the reason why we're not talking about this one, by the way, talking about this one. The reason why I'm using this one instead of this one is because you use the most recent one. This isn't a fall into the 4 hour fair value gap, the most discounted price, and buy from there. No, we're selling towards the liquidity because tired of getting stopped out. So once that fair value gap there is made, I'm using these to mark out instead of boxes because the actual entry uses a box, which is the same color. I've already got a lot of colors. Jeez, I've already got a lot of colors on the screen, so it's like I'm not trying to add more. 5 minute. Now what we do? Jeez, ruining it. Look for a 4 hour. I'm not 4 hour. 5 minute fair value gap going down. Get it right there. Once that gets created, mark it out. Go into the 1 minute for the entry. And the entry model, if I didn't explain it in the last video, or maybe the first one, it's just a ST in, ST out. Fair value gap in, fair value gap out of the zone. Take the trade. This one counts because it closed outside, so that's why I would have taken it here instead of here. Take the trade, mark out the stop where I couldn't get it accurately there for some reason, but mark out the stop at the top of or the bottom of fair value gap and aim for a 1 to 2. So that would have been about there. However, because I'm trading towards liquidity, the 4 hour fair value gap is always a target and strict don't trade past there. So instead of like trying to go right up to it, no, we just drop it to a 1 to 1 because it makes life easier, right? So instead of going for a 1 to 2, went for 1 to 1. So there was enough space past that, hit TP. Oof. So that's the first trade. Another thing I like about 1 to 2 risk reward ratio is that look, you can lose a few trades in a row and still cover yourself with one win. Like let's say you can lose twice as many trades as you win, basically, and still break even. So here we actually ended up losing 3 in a row. But we'll go into how I mitigate losses, and the 1 to 2 risk reward ratio is actually just part of that. There's another reason why. I mean, there's another way how. So we'll look at these two because it's two on the same day. 4th of August. 4th of August. USD JPY. I'll check something, please. That's what happened. So we were rejecting off the weekly, just believe me. And we could be in like a daily. I've lost like half of the video to don't even know. But yeah, I think as well I was rejecting off the weekly 4 hour made that 4 hour here. Going to the weekly, weekly, what the hell? Going to the 5 minute, fair value gap down. Oh, this is both of them. Shit. Alright, cool. Fair value gap down right there. These ones aren't relevant. Oh, these ones aren't relevant because as you can see, disrespected. We get into this one here. ST in, respected. ST out, respected. Cool. So we take the trade right there. Stop above the zone and 1 to 2. Questionably, I don't know if I would have taken this because look at this very sharp wick here. And two, Second reason is 4 a.m., 4:30. I don't know if I'm up at that time unless I've seen something at like 12, no, at like 2 I was watching, but I don't know. But yeah, that one stopped. Didn't even really pass that zone once it wicked down. I mean, eventually, but because we haven't reached this, sorry, because we haven't reached this zone here, we're still valid to find another entry. So as you can see in this leg, this is the fair value cap at the top, so we'd be aiming for this one here. But as you can see, actually, didn't even notice this at first. We actually did happen to that. This could be a third loss. You know, ST in, and the reason why this isn't ST out is because it's not in the same leg. This pip here, to be honest, kind of saved me, but very strict on my entry, so I think I must have marked this out before, seeing that I'm not taking it or marked it down. I didn't take any of these live, but yeah. 5 minute was made there. Jeez, this goes too fast sometimes. Cool. 5 minute fair value gap. Going to the 1 minute. ST in, ST out, in, entry. Stop above the zone. 1 to 2. 2 would have been there. Unfortunately, stopped straight out. Close, but stopped out at the end of the day. And yeah, those are those two losses. Those are 2 losses out of 3 actually. Lost another one on ADUSD, and so gotta go over the last one. GBP CAD on the 5th of August. So get rid of that. 5th of August. GBP CAD. 5th of August. Course the 4th. Um, Context. This daily here was disrespected, but we made a new one. And we're now going up. Like here, we're going up. So going to the 4 hour. Nothing happened here. Nothing happened here. This 4 hour gap, fair value gap got made here. So going to the 5 minute. Going to the 5 minute. Wait for a fair value gap towards the liquidity to form. Once that happens, we're gonna set an alarm like here. Just right click, set an alarm, set an alert. Once price gets there in the 1 minute, wait for a sharp turn in, sharp turn out. So that's in. That's also in because it's the same leg. And then no, no. So with the entry there, stop above the zone. Um, and then there you go. TP in 6 minutes. Here's another valid trade as well, but well, not valid trade because stopped outside or went outside the zone before exiting. And if that happens, in that case, I don't take the trade. But I think this one ran all the way to the target, which is much better imaginary scenario there. But so that was this win here. Yeah. All right. So now I want to go over my plan for this, well, really the coming weeks in relation to my strategy and prop firms, etc. If I get one comment, by the way, I'm gonna buy a mic. I'm gonna buy a mic that you'll be able to hear me on properly. I know it's a bit peak. Done a couple takes. My voice is too quiet. So yeah. So I've got a lot of data from November 2025 up until say May-ish. Yeah, May. Kind of missed a lot of this summer. I was a bit looked out, I won't lie to you. But in terms of my plan for, well, for a bit more context of my strategy, 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Obviously, I like a 1 to 2 because you can lose a lot more trades and have a bit of a lower win rate than a 1 to 1. You can lose more trades. You can lose twice as many as you can win and still be break even, theoretically, in it. So even here in this scenario with this 5 trade, with these 5 trades, One first one, but it wasn't a 1 to 2, it was a 1 to 1. So that's only +1. Then with these three, -3, that would put me on -2%. But with this one win to break even, that's 2 wins out of 5 trades, lost the majority, still won. And it's a similar story here, but in the end, we come out +1 actually. So if I was to take all these trades, jeez, my charger, hold on. I've recorded this part 3 times now. Forgot to turn my mic on 3 times, two times. But yeah, so in the coming weeks, this the strategy I want to be employing with these prop firms. Because nowadays they got all of these rules and shit. You got consistency rules, you got like trailing drawdowns and all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, man, back in the day, shit was great. My Forex funds, FTMO, you know them oldies talking about what they done back in 2015 and shit. That's me right now. Let me just get into it. So a little simulation of what we're gonna do once I'm ready for live trading. So we've got 2 accounts, risking 1 to 2 as usual, but instead of risking 1%, I'm gonna be doing double. Because another thing is I don't like being stuck in evaluations and verification phases. Is mainly evaluation phases. So risking double, honestly, I'd rather pay for another account than be down like 8% trying to make it back. It's just that's so demotivating. So yeah, so let's just say 2 accounts, buying them at the same time, same account size and everything. Account one, first trade up 2%. Account two, second trade down 2%. Account two, third trade down 2, so a break even. Second account, fourth trade down another 2, -4. So at this point now, sort of mitigated 2 potential losses. Obviously, this is luck. I'm not saying I'm going to win one trade, lose the next trade, win one trade, but either way, it's split across 2 accounts, which will save at least one with a good win rate. You know what I mean? So fifth trade, account one, it's a win, proper win this time instead of 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 4% up 4. Another loss, -6. A lot of put firms, I think their limit is like 5%. So theoretically, you could say lost this account, but we're gonna continue as if we didn't. Obviously, if I was to get down to like 10, 8% on one side, then at that point, I don't think any prop firms got some crazy drawdown like that. But yeah, I think it was here. Trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another loss down from 4 to 2. Another trade 8 on account 2 up 1 win, so we're up to -2. Count 9, account 9, count 1 trade 9. Another win, so we're up to 6%. And trade 10, account 2, a loss, so we're down 4. So we'd end the week theoretically close to passing one phase and in drawdown on another account or lost the account on another account. So yeah, with all this data, another thing that I'm gonna take into account is that, as you can see, a lot of my losses was like the same pair. Something I have found is certain forex pairs work with the strategy a bit more than others. So obviously in the coming week, another plan I've got is to not, I don't want to trade all of these pairs. I'd rather restrict it to ones that's like much more likely to win trades. I think AUD is one that I think lose quite a lot on. Like I haven't taken many trades in it, but a lot of them is like AUD is a loss. It's one there, one there, one there. That's a win. There's one there. AUD is one there, one there. See what I mean? It's a win, but there's one there. And maybe JPY pairs, you never know. So this is something I'm willing to take into the account as well. Obviously, sometimes I get a bit lazy. I don't do the session, don't put the session. This probably is a bit of important information I should take more note on. Obviously, news as well, which I'll be doing. I'll be a bit more strict with my back testing and stuff to get as much data to tweak the strategy as needed. But That's a rundown of what I'm planning to do. So I'll probably get back to you end of this week, maybe midweek, if anything interesting happens. But yeah, thanks for watching. And one comment, I'll buy a Mac